So, here's a couple of builder runs you can take. Upheaval wants you to pay a lot of mana ramp, often green-blue. Opposition also wants you to do green-blue, you want a lot of creatures. I think that opposition, I've been a little unimpressed with that because it doesn't play good with a lot of the mana ramp you have in green are not even creatures. Sundering Titan to be some sort of reanimator artifact deck. I think I'm gonna take Upheaval. I love this card. I like the deck it goes into, green-blue. And you can also be an artifact deck with a lot of mana ramp. Alright, so what do we got here now? We got Azorius Signet, would help with Upheaval. And it's just a fine card. Could also take Courser, Elvish Reclaimer if you want to be some sort of land-based deck. You can play Courser with Fast Bond, Strip Mine. You can also just play it as a value card. I'm gonna take Azorius Signet though. Keeps me open so that I don't have to be green-blue necessarily. Why can't I move that? No. Okay. So there is a Lotus Bloom. A card that is very good if you have it in your opening hand and you want to cast something like Upheaval. Worse otherwise. There's also Uro, which powers out an Upheaval. And this is also a card you can sometimes cast after Upheaval if you have 10 mana. Because you can end up with enough cards in your graveyard usually. Elvish Mystic is also an option. So I just said that I wanted to be more open, but here there isn't anything that's super great anyway. So I might just will try Uro here. Alright, so Breeding Pool is a very important card in these decks because you all have a lot of intensive cards. The Sea Exarch is an option. You can be red-blue with Twin and Upheaval in the same deck. But I think Breeding Pool is important and means that any fetch land I get is gonna enable it to be good. Alright, so Emrakul is powerful. But Garruk is tempting when you have Upheaval. It basically adds 2 mana. It also can create creatures. Riftwind Cloudsgate also works with Upheaval if you can suspend it before Upheaval goes off. And then it comes into play like the turn after you cast Upheaval. Then it can be nice. I think I'm going to take Riftwing. So you want to spend it 2 turns before you want to cast Upheaval. Good thing to note. I don't even think Garruk is that good anyway. Alright. So there's Green Sun Zenith. Could be decent if I get some mana elves. Heartbeat is also a combo with Upheaval. You play it before and then you tap everything for mana and then Upheaval. Heartbeat goes back to your hand so your opponent can't even use the mana. Don't think that Heartbeat is necessarily what I want though. Workshop if I wanted to go more in some other colors with a bunch of artifacts. So here's the thing. I don't think Green Sun Zenith is going to be particularly good in my deck. It's more a mono green card. I'm gonna take Workshop just for the potential to be an artifact deck. Maybe I can be mono blue artifacts and play Upheaval. Upheaval is often very good in those kinds of deck. You can't use Workshop to cast Upheaval, but you can use Workshop to cast your mana rocks and then those can help you cast Upheaval. Okay, so now I can take Mirror Battle Sphere. Now this opens up the option of getting Tinker. It also goes more heavier in the artifact direction. And I'm not giving up much. I don't think Life on the Loam is going to be particularly good. Life on the Loam can have its moments if you got Strip Mine, Wasteland, especially if you also got some kind of exploration effect. But I think Mirror Battle Sphere has potential. Mostly with Tinker, but it is also a card you can hardcast with Workshop. Now there's Crucible if I were to get Strip Mine. Caracas is very late. I really think that card shouldn't go this late. It's also Ramming Up Excavator, which is basically Crucible, but you can cast it off Workshop. And it dives to removal. So I don't see why I would want to take Ramming Up over Crucible. The reason could be like Green Sun seen it, but Crucible has potential. Right now it's not very good, but... Ooh, Sunring Titan Wield, alright. We might be some artifact brew here. Might give up on this Uro, which is fine. And I think Rifting Tusker is fine in a deck like this, because you often end up being a little bit tempo-y. You can play cards like Smokestack Tangle Wire sometimes. Okay, here is Tangle Wire. I usually don't like that card, but could be good. You could also take Forge Master, but that is not a particularly good card. So how do you break Tangle Wire? Usually you don't. I don't think Forge Master is particularly good. I'm gonna take Tangle Wire here. And I with Lotus Bloom. There is also Blightsteel if I were to get Tinker. You can't cast Lotus Bloom with Workshop. Blightsteel is only good if I get Tinker though. And I already have 2 good targets. So I'm gonna take Lotus Bloom. Take another Signet here, why not? It's one of the worst Signets, but I think it's better than trying to splash... what's it called? I don't know what it was. I'm gonna take Ruins here. It's decent against Brain Freeze decks. If you're heavy artifacts, you're always gonna get it back. Okay, I'm gonna take Zenith now, although sort of looking like I'm not gonna be green. So what do we got? Here we got Strip. I'm just gonna take it here. Yes, Remand is awesome, but when you got Crucible and then Stripman is just very important. It's also a very good card in general. If you can tempo out something with Workshop and then use Stripman to keep your opponent off the back, you can get really ahead. And yeah, so Stripmine it is. Still don't know about this Tangle Wire, but so what are we looking for here? We want some of the cards I want are cards that I can get late, like Metal Worker, Tolarian Academy, whereas some other cards I would have to take kind of early. So now there is Mindslaver, which is a combo with Workshop, I suppose. Ulamog, which is not an artifact, so it's kind of hard to cast. You can sometimes play it if you have a lot of mana cards, but this pack is kind of bad. There is Mystical Tutor who can get me Upheaval, but I think it's not that good. I'm gonna take Mindslaver. Minsk and Boo, very powerful card. I don't know if I can play it though. Do have Azorius Signet and Celestia Signet. Days and Frantic Search are not even that good. I'm gonna take Minsk and Boo and we shall see if my mana can support. I just think this is a very good card. Alright, I'm not a Brain Freeze deck. I'm going to take Karn over Timeless Lotus. I just think Karn's gonna be great here. It creates large creatures, as in fact. And if I can wheel Timeless Lotus, I might play it. Hers is also a good sideboard card. Alright, Cursive Portal or Taiga. Taiga if I were to wanna cast my Minsk and Boo. But I can just take Cursive Portal. Fantastic card to get out early with Workshop. Draws you an extra card every turn. Ooh, Tolarian Academy. Yes, the Ready is a fantastic card too, but Tolarian Academy is going to be great in this deck. Let's remove Uro. That's not a card that I can escape very reliably. First of all, the cards doesn't go to my graveyard that hard. And second, I don't even know if I can support green, green, blue, blue. Lodestone is also great, but that's probably going to wheel. And Academy is just too good. Okay, so now there is Tesseret, a card I don't love. Renin 6, a card that works with Strip Mine. Very hard to cast though. But as Minsk and Boo, it has a lot of potential. You know what? Maybe I'm actually not even blue. I could just be red-green artifacts. I'm gonna take Renin 6 because I don't like Tesseret too much. Okay, Glendon and Archmage is a good card. Merchant Regent is a good card. Simic Signet though would help me cast some of the green cards, and I can be like have some red sources. Otherwise, it's an important card. Raffine's Tower, Plains, Island, Swamp doesn't help me. Bayou doesn't help me either, but it could be okay if I were to get some random fetch land. I guess I'll take Bayou. Take Ulamog. Crop rotation is too weak, too little card advantage here. But I mean, a fetch land would be especially good to, like Steam Vents, and I could be a try land. This unfortunately can cost both halves of these, but you can get me one of them. Man, if this were a red-green signet, it would have been so much better. So, of course, want Tinker as well. Oh, Timeless Lotus helps. That helps cast some of my cards, and it's a card I can get with Workshop again. So Timeless Lotus is getting in my deck. And Taiga is very nice, now that I have 2 red-green cards. And ready. A card that I could maybe play. Desert Wheel, as usual. I think I like the ready better. It just puts the artifact directly into play. Alright, so now what? Mana Drain is going to be the pick. It's hard on the mana, but it's just too good, and it does exactly what this deck was. This deck wanted an interaction anyway, and adding a bunch of colorless mana in a deck card that costs colorless cards is just good. Much better than Mystic Confluence. Chromox, Revoker would be fine cards to wheel, but Mana Drain, huh? Alright, so Plain Swamp Forest, Mountain Plain Swamp. Unfortunately not the best ones. There is Factor of Fiction, a way to draw extra card, Wheel of Fortune, Mishra's Bauble. What does that do? Doesn't really do anything with the Workshop, but it makes I'm playing a 39 card deck. And it's an artifact. If I were for Academy, I can play it and not crack it, get some extra mana. Yeah, I'm gonna take Bauble here. Ooh, Tinker, yeah. Tinker is going to be awesome. I have Sundering Titan to get Mere Battle Sphere. I didn't take Blightsteel, but I don't really regret that too much. Polluted Delta is probably not gonna wheel, but it would be good here. It would be a blue-green land. But Tinker is awesome. Alright, yeah. Burn Power Stone is better than Chalice, I think. Just works much better with Workshop. Just cast it on turn 1 and then it can help cast your other cards. Oh, Metalwork, I like that. Arid Mesa is actually just a duel. It's good, but Metalworker is going to be fantastic here. And Espion Stage, huh? Yorion. Man, in this pack I wish I was some mana fixing. All these cards. The problem with Noble Hierarchy is that I'm not gonna have that heavy access to green early, I don't think. I'm gonna take Thespian Sage in case I get Dark Depths. It's not a combo with Academy because the land is still a legendary land. It doesn't say that. You can copy Workshop though, but it's too hard on the mana. But if I get Dark Depths, it's a card I can play. Alright, Windswept Heat, what does that do? It gets me all my colors. Awesome. I mean, Fable is great, but Windswept Heat is a tri-land. Gets me blue, or red, or green, of course. Nice. That's what happens sometimes in Cube with these fetch lands. They can randomly just get you all the colors. I hate Oblivion Stone index like this. The problem is it blows up everything you control in mana rocks. It just doesn't do what you want. This is a duel. But Spiral of Canal is, I think, a better duel because it just constantly untapped more often. I'm probably never gonna cycle that. Yeah, I can fetch it, but my fetch land already gets me everything. So I think Spire Bluff is a better land. Alright, I got the Revoker back. I don't mind that. You want to have heavy artifacts when you're playing Metal Worker and Academy. And this messes up your opponent. Savannah doesn't do anything. Alright, so what do we got here? Plain Swamp Forest doesn't do anything. Mountain Plain Swamp doesn't do anything. I mean, you can fetch them, I suppose, but don't have enough green cards for endurance, although maybe I can spend 3 mana. Metamorphose, maybe. Okay. Waterlogged Grove, Sylvan Library, Escape to the Wilds. I think I'm going to take Waterlogged Grove because I have Crucible. Could be a draw in the late game. It also is mana fixing. So I like that. Take Krark, I guess. This is not good. Alright, Aurelia last pick. So this deck looks kind of sweet. I'm not gonna play Test It, I still think it's bad. And I'm not gonna play Risharan Port. Too hard on the mana. Bayou doesn't do much. I don't have Golos, so I don't need black mana. Golos would have been good in this deck. I think I could have activated it. Especially with Timeless Lotus. But okay, so I have 3 red cards, 2 green cards, some double blue. Rifting doesn't have to be double blue. My lands is green, blue, green, red, blue, green, blue. So I think I want a little bit more red sources than green. Especially since both my signets here does make green. So I think I want 1 less forest, 1 more mountain. This should be good. Alright. On the play. This hand has potential. It's not great. It does have a strip mine. It does have a Revoker. And if I draw 1 land, I'm gonna slam Portal. I'm gonna keep this, even though it's not great. And I'm probably not gonna strip mine for a while. Because I want to cast 4 mana cards. It's much better to strip mine once you have something in play. Preferably Crucible cards, of course. But you rather... because if you just strip mine randomly, you're not really getting ahead. Of course, I could use strip mine and then eventually I'm gonna draw on a green, huh? Eventually I'm gonna draw Crucible, but ooh, I don't have red though. But I can revoke the Elvish Mystic and turn it into a 1/1. So now the question is, do I trade if my opponent attacks? It's basically the same as being in play. The disadvantage of blocking is if I were to draw a threat in Academy. The advantage is that if my opponent deals with Revoker somehow... okay, Tangle Wire. So if I play Tangle Wire, we're both getting time walked for a while, but I think that buys me some time. And if I were to draw red source, then, ooh, library. Fortunately, okay, let's trigger this correctly. So I want the tapping to happen last. So I should put it first. Then you can tap Tangle Wire. And I don't think I have any double blue or double green cards. Okay, and I'm not gonna strip mine, as I said before. Opponent gets to keep 1 mana source here. You can tap the Mystic. Okay, mana source. So Upheaval does reset things. Which means that even if my opponent spams the board with a bunch of creatures, I can reset with Upheaval. Oh, there's a land. That's very nice. So I could go Ren and 6, kill something, and then have it in play and then start strip mining. And if I kill, let's face, for example, I kill one of these, my opponent can't kill Ren and 6. I could also cast Cursive Portal, but I think it's important to start doing this. So now, 1 damage to any target, exalted creature, and then I can strip mine a forest. Because now, with Ren and 6 in play, I can get the strip mine back and tap it for mana if I have to. So I think this is better than casting Cursive Portal. My opponent gets to attack Ren and 6 down to 1, but that's fine. Looking like an old tax deck from old school. Okay, I'm gonna return strip mine. The question is, do I strip mine here or do I cast Cursive Portal? I think I'm just gonna strip mine. It's sadistic, but what are you gonna do? And then I'm gonna block Elvish Mystic. Opponent has no lands in play. Strip mine. Alright, so mono green, huh? So I don't have any sweepers, that's a problem. Good thing is that my opponent probably can't do much about Upheaval, so I don't have to worry about counter spells. And of course, Ren and 6 is pretty nice against 1 toughness creatures. So I don't think I'm gonna sideboard anything. It's possible Tanglewire is not great, but it... Alright. Oh well. I want critical mass of artifacts, and Tanglewire is not like it does nothing, it slows down my opponent. Oh, there's library. It's not as bad as it could be, because if my opponent spends time to do that, it's not great, but I'm still gonna strip mine it. I don't want my opponent to just draw a bunch of extra cards. And now that I have Lotus Bloom ticking down, I'm doing something. Okay, drew a Signet. So next turn I can go play a Signet. I can't use Academy just yet, but Academy is going to be great here because I can also use Lotus Bloom. Ooh. For now, let's play a Saurius Signet. And then next turn I have a lot of mana. Underground Sea, Ignoble Hierarch, fine. Alright, let's see here. I can probably cast Mirror Battlesphere this turn. Okay, so let's start. If I play Academy, that taps for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Play Academy. Play Tanglewire. 3. And play Metalworker, and then next turn I can do crazy stuff. But I want to get Tanglewire into play so that it time walks my opponent. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna tap Tanglewire, Lotus Bloom, and a Signet. And these 3. 6 mana. Play Signet. Pay 9 mana. Play Battlesphere and have mana drain. I don't even need to. Actually, Let's just cast Recursive Portal because I don't need to mana drain next to my. I have Tangle Wire in play. You know. So, what's my opponent gonna do? Cast Balance. Plains Balance. That's the only card. But I wanna draw some extra cards. I guess Channel. Okay. But this should be game. Unless I misclick on Recursive Portal. So this doesn't... Homage. Never click Carnage. Means I can boo. I'm gonna tap Tangle Wire, Recursive Portal, and... Oh man, so much value. So crack this for red. Ren 6. Strip mine. Okay. Alright, let's run it back. On the draw here. And this hand is nice. The question is, how do I play this? The Signet... Another mono green deck maybe. Timeless Lotus. So the thing about mana drain in this deck is I'm not a counterspell deck. I don't think leaving up mana drain, try to leave it up every turn is going to help me. So I'm just going to develop my board and then I can maybe mana drain later for some value. But trying to hold up mana drain here, it's a little foolish, I think. So next turn I can do it. I can play like Revoker on something and then... Or I can play Karn. We shall see what happens here. Sol Ring. Okay, that's a card I can Revoker. Maybe it's a Planeswalker. Okay, it's a Planeswalker. I'm probably going to Revoker that. So, okay, so it would have been good to keep open mana drain, but there was no way for me to know that this would happen. Okay, so now Crucible is looking silly here. But I think I'm gonna Revoker, name Nissa. I can't name Sol Ring here, it's just... So shakes the world. Yep. But then, if I draw... If I get to mana drain something massive, it could be good. This still means my opponent's lands tap for double green. But as I was saying, I'm not I'm not a counterspell deck. I only have one mana drain. Oh yeah. 6 mana in my pool next turn. So right now I have 10 mana. Hopefully this isn't like... Okay. That's not the worst. Yeah, my opponent gets back taller, I can cast it next turn, but... It... If I draw Upheaval, I might be winning this game. Okay, so 10 mana. Unfortunately... Or fellows. Okay, so my opponent has 1,000,000 mana. Oh, Spirebreath can play tapped, unfortunately. So I have 10 mana. I can go Karn plus Timeless Lotus. No red mana. Let's start by Karn and... If I make a construct, it's going to be a 4/4 with Timeless Lotus. Then I can maybe draw cards next turn. I can also dig, but then my Karn gets attacked pretty hard. So I think yeah, I'm gonna make a 4/4 and make it hard for my opponent to attack Karn. Here's Huntmaster, I guess. It's not Knight just yet, so my opponent can't fight. But I think, okay, my opponent drew a land. So So if my opponent attacks with everything on Karn, I get to kill some stuff. Oh, I missed playing Spire Bluff last turn. Probably should have done that. Alright, so let's start by casting the ready, I think. Let's do this. Let's cast the ready with these cards. And I have no good artifact to get into play, so discard Spire Bluff and Metal Worker. Alright, wasn't great. So I could make another card, Struct, which is going to be a 6/6. Or I can dig. 6/6 means that my cards probably survive. Yeah. Because the problem with plus in Karn is that if I'm probably not going to hit, I'm going to hit one good card and on a bad card, so I think I'd rather do that next turn. And making another 6/6 means that the ready, which is my most important card right now, is going to survive, I think. Unless my opponent wants to suicide the entire board, but if that happens, I could almost kill my opponent. It's not, depends on what I draw, of course, but. Okay, so my opponent can fight now. But it's only for 2, so my opponent can kill the Revoker and then next turn Nissa is active again, but that's fine. Versus Portal isn't the worst. Here I think I should start by plussing Karn because there's nothing else I can do with it. And now I can get some fodder to discard. Tinker and Worm Powerstone. I think I'm gonna get Worm Powerstone. But now if Karn survives, I can... let's see here. Let's plus get rid of the land so I can play them with... oh, Sunring Titan isn't bad. Although it's not great. It kills 2 of my lands. But it's a big blocker. So I have 5, 6, 8, 10 mana. I want to cast Cursive Portal though. Maybe Waterlogger has to wait 1 turn. 5, 6, 11, 14. Yeah. Descending Edite. I can even kill the creature. And we shall see. Use 2. Actually only kills 1 of my lands. And then I think Portal is more important than Worm Powerstone, of course. And I have Tinker in exile, so if my opponent does not kill Karn, I have a Tinker for Mindslaver. That could be good. Not exactly sure what Mindslaver is gonna do, but Opponent could trade a wolf for a Revoker here. Probably good. Yeah. So now Nissa is active again. This flips back. So if my whole attacks doesn't get any wolves, I'm starting to like my chances here. Of course, Nissa being active is scary, but my opponent could of course just draw Craterhoof and then it's game, but there's nothing I can do. I have 24 toughness, but that's not going to be enough, I don't think, if there is a Craterhoof. No, X7, so it's no Craterhoof. Terrastodon would be, or that's 9. Avenger is scary too, but I do have one turn. The board is getting out of hand now, so I probably have to find Upheaval very soon. But I can tinker for Mindslaver. And that might be decent. Can attack and force my opponent to suicide some creatures. But my opponent might be attacking Karn here. And I can't get Karn back with the ready, unfortunately. Okay, so my opponent is attacking Karn. That's a good play. I don't think you can afford me to be able to tinker. But I get to kill some creatures now, though. That's a good play. Can't do anything about it though, but now Karn is gone and Tinker is therefore gone forever, so no Mindslaver. But I can just naturally draw Mindslaver maybe. How much? This game has been pretty interesting. So I could also Revoker. Get back Revoker with the ready, but that seems not great. Because it doesn't really solve my problem too much. So I think I'm gonna plus 2. I'm getting close to the ultimate, which means that whenever an artifact I control dies, I get it back. So let's discard. I think Power's only worse than Signet here, just because Signet comes and play untapped. A Rift in Cloudscape, huh? Can I bounce something on my own? I don't know. I don't know. Workshop. Workshop some signets here. I could Cloudscape my own already and do it again, but I think it's better to crack the Grove. Draw a card. Unfortunately, just a land. Am I dead next turn? I don't think so, but so I can cast Cloudscape. Return Wolf, I think. And I don't think I die next turn. It's possible to ready dies, but eventually I'm gonna draw Upheaval or Mindslaver. But I have 4 blockers and I shouldn't die even through a land. One can make a 3/3 here, but if I block the 4 biggest things, I only take 12, go to 2. And if I hold attacks with everything, I can kill my opponent on the backswing. This is a pretty great game, honestly. Still homage. Tangle Wire is not great. Upheaval, there we go. Okay, so let's see here. So if I upheaval, this is going to be complicated. I have to think here really hard. So I have 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13 mana. Upheaval, and then I have 7. I can replay Timeless Lotus, and you can also get cards, create an artifact back from my graveyard. Which could be Revoker naming Soldering, and then my opponent has nothing. And because Dread is gonna come back to my hand anyway. Alright, oh, this is tough. Start by attacking. I don't want to attack with Summoning Titan. I don't want to blow up my lands. One can kill Riftwing with the Huntmaster. No, it has no wolves, so never mind. Okay, now I'm going to... I don't want to use my land drop for the turn. I can sacrifice an artifact and get Ochre back. Naming +2 mace. Then I am going to... red. Cast Upheaval. Spend, I guess. Yeah. Alright, yeah, that was probably the fastest way to conclude that game. Again, I don't really have any way to sideboard. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. It has Strip Mine, which is one of my main cards. I have 2 ways to abuse it, and Tanglery buys me time, Singing it ramps me, and I'm on the draw. So the question is, do I Strip Mine on turn 1? I've said before that I don't like to do that generally speaking, but when you have a Signet in hand... Okay, yeah, I'm gonna Strip Mine. Just going against my own advice, but... Maybe my opponent kept a... My opponent might have gone to 6, maybe kept a land light hand. And also, the advice of not using Strip Mine until you got something going on is more pronounced when you have something in your hand that can do something. Here right now my hand doesn't do anything, so... Opponent seems to be land light because played a Horizon Canopy just now. Although it hasn't showed up on my screen for some reason.